Aye, shepherd's pie. Greetings from the Philippines. Welcome back to the cupboard for a cost of living video, which we have not done for a while. Much to Ellen's dismay, she loves these. She's been pushing me every day of the week, putting me, let's do a cost of living. I'm like, no, some of our subscribers don't like them. So we thought about it and she was right. Some of you do. So we're doing another one. So if you like them, watch the video. If you don't like them,
don't watch the video, skip the video.
There you go, she's a wise woman, wiser than she looks. So anyway, this is not clickbait. Our living costs have doubled. This has been the most expensive month I think I have had in the Philippines, apart from my birthday party over in Siquijor Hall and maybe one other month. So yes, we are not exaggerating. Our living costs have doubled for a variety of reasons, which we will explain now. But our set fees have not gone up. So I have my wonderful assistant, beautiful assistant. Oh no, Ellen's doing it this week. who's going to read me our set figures. These are our set figures that don't change. So if you're a regular viewer of our cost of living videos,
Probably memorized it already.
You probably memorized it already. Or you can just forward through until the next part when we're going to talk about why our living costs have gone up. Right, so what costs have you got first, my lovely?
The rent, house rent, it's 15,000 pesos.
15,000 pesos?
200 pounds in dollars.
You've stolen my line. You've stolen my line. Carry on. I was about to say, but what does that mean to our brothers in the United Kingdom? What is that in pounds?
Just want to make it quick. Yeah, so again, it's 15,000 pesos. In pounds, that's 200, and in dollars, that's 266.
So that's 15,000 Filipino pesos, 200 British sterling pounds, and 266 US dollars. Now, they're the only three currencies we're going to work on this video. So if we say dollars, we are talking about US dollars. So if you're Canadian or you're from New Zealand or Canada, I'm afraid you'll have to calculate it yourself, I'm afraid. Right, carry on. What else have we got?
Next, the internet, it's 1,599.
Pesos.
Yeah, pesos. And then in pounds, that's 21. In dollars, that's 28.
$28
Yep.
or £21. Now, we haven't paid that this month. We've only just realised. Ellen can't decide whether we have or not. I'm telling her we haven't. But when we finish this video, we're straight on the bike down to 7-Eleven to pay it, because we might get cut off. We were warned if you don't pay it by the 18th of the month, then they cut you off. And it is now the 23rd. Was it?
Yeah, it's the 20. No, 26th.
26. It is not good. It is not good. That's an error on our part. I think it's because we went away to mobile. We missed it in the ether. But anyway, carry on.
Electricity, that's 2,300 pesos. And then in pounds, that's 31. And in dollars, that is 41.
What else have we got?
Visa.
My visa costs, obviously not Ellen's visa costs, my visa costs.
1,500
pesos?
Yeah. And then 21 pounds.
I'll do your job for you. I'll just carry on.
I thought you don't want me to do it. In dollars, that's 27.
And how much was it in pounds?
20.
Okay. What we got next?
Insurance, same. 1,500, 20,000, and 20,000. That's a lot. It's 20 pounds, and in dollars, that's 27.
If it was $2,000 a month in pounds for my insurance, I wouldn't be in the Philippines. Yeah, okay.
And next is your mobile phone. That's 300 pesos. $4 and £4, and then in dollars, that's 5 US dollars.
Well done.
And the next is fuel. 500 pesos. In pounds, that's 7. In dollars, that's 9.
Which is surprisingly good, because we drove up to Mobile and back again and I filled it up with 200 pesos before we left, which just about fills up the tank. When we got to Oslo on the way back, we filled it up with another 200 pesos, and that has lasted us about a week. Then I filled it up the other day for 200 pesos, and we've on about half a tank. So that really is 500 pesos, and that's driving all the way to from here to not Oslo, Mulbwal and back, and our usual Mulbwal. Gotta say it like a local. So yeah, fuel costs. I've been amazed how good it is on our scooter. I'm not sure if our scooter is more economical than other scooters, maybe not, but I'm saying fuel costs here really are negligible. And with the mobile phone, I mentioned it in the last video, I've changed my package now. It's 149 pesos for 2 weeks, which gives me unlimited calls and texts and 5 gigabytes of data. And never had a problem, never run out of data, never, so that's more than enough. Before I was paying about 199 pesos for, what did I get, something like 16 gigabytes or something. Never used it.
That's for 2 weeks?
That was for 2 weeks, yeah. So yeah, that cost has come down. So what does that mean our costs are, our fixed costs? What are they in total?
Total, that's 22,699. In pounds, that is 303, and in dollars, that's 403.
So yes, just look at how to pay pound. So £303, 403 US dollars. And that is everything. I mean, that is basically, they are our fixed costs. Now, we haven't included entertainment in this, and we haven't included groceries, and we never do, and I'll explain why in a minute. But that is our cost of living. If you're new to the channel, for that, we've got a nice little 2-bedroom house in Bekong, got a brand new scooter, or rather Ellen has, and internet's good. It's 100 Mbps, isn't it?
Yeah, Mbps.
Yeah. Electricity, that's cost. We've got the aircon on in the bedroom a lot of the time. Our costs, they are our costs. They never change. The electricity bill fluctuates sometimes.
Yeah, include the water.
Oh my God, I did not include the water. That was an error. Now the water, we're talking big money. It's
just 50 pesos.
It's 50 pesos. Plus when they read the meter, it's an extra 20 on top of that. But we get a 50 peso bill every month. We haven't had the water bill either.
Yeah.
It's been a strange month.
No, I think I have to ask our neighbor.
One of the reasons we haven't paid the electricity bill is, the internet bill, and we haven't paid the electricity bill either, was because what usually happens is we don't get a bill for the internet because it's in the landlord's name. But we do get a bill for the electricity, and they stick it to the gate. And we get a bill for the water, which they stick to the gate, which is always 50 pesos. But we went away and we've come back. We've not had an electricity bill this month. And it's when we get the electricity bill, that's when I think, because we go to 7-Eleven and we pay the
both
at the same time, the internet and the electricity. But because the electricity hasn't come, there's the old water pump going. Because the electricity hasn't come, we've forgotten about the internet bill. But now Ellen's mentioned the water bill hasn't come either. What's going on?
I don't know. Yeah, but I have to ask our neighbor about it. Cause maybe they put it or they stick it on the gate and it's just like. Did it rain?
When?
I don't know.
Anyway, we don't know. We end up having a conversation by ourselves. Something's not right here. No electricity bill and no water bill. But anyway, I'm not going to bother adding the 50 pesos to that, to that bill, because it is a negligible amount, whichever way you look at it. So, our groceries, they're usually very low. They're about 2,000 pesos a week, sometimes 2.5, because as we said before, we eat out a lot, and we don't buy that much because we're on the scooter, so you can't bring that much. So usually we'll do a shop once a week. Myself and Ellen comes to between 1,000 and 1,500 pesos, and I will generally do a top-up shop, which can be anywhere from 600 to 1,000 pesos. But we don't buy a lot because we eat out a lot. A bit of chicken, a bit of pork, etc. Some coffee, Diet Coke. We do like our Diet Coke. And that's about it. So I know a lot of people will give you $200, $400, $300, $400 for grocery costs. Not for us. So our costs have gone up quite considerably, and I think they will be higher than usual next month as well, for a variety of reasons. One of them being
that my daughter is here with us.
No, that's not the one.
Because we went to Cebu, Malbal for my birthday.
We went to Malbal for Ella's birthday, so we were expecting it to go up, and it probably cost us about £300. The way I have calculated this, in fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. Cut to the quick, and then we can give you an explanation afterwards. What is our total expenditure for the month?
1,425, and that's in pounds. Is it in pounds? They're all written in pounds.
No, they're not. Anyway, I'll explain this.
The symbol, you use the same symbol, Simon.
Well, I'm sorry, my darling. I didn't, I hate to shatter your illusions.
Oh, I know. But
I'm not
the 1,425
is pounds.
Is pound, and 1,895 that's US dollars.
See, so I hadn't made a mistake, but there you go. I was going to take one for the team. I was going to pretend it was my mistake to make Ellen look good. But there you go. That's the kind of guy I am.
You always blame me.
But then she worked it out. You just blame me. Anyway, how do I calculate this figure? They were basically, the other figures were set. We know what they are. I go to the bank. Every time I go to the bank, I draw out 2,000 pesos. It's the best amount to draw out if you go into an ATM, because you will still be charged the same 250 peso withdrawal fee if you draw out 2,000 or 20,000. So I always draw 20,000 out, which equates roughly to £275, and I went to the ATM 5 times this month, which gives us the total of $1,425. In dollars, that is $1,895. Now that is higher than usual because the pound is doing quite well against the dollar at the moment. I think it's 133. We just looked now. I think the last time we did it, it was probably, I think it was 127. So it's gone up by 6 cents. So that's going to raise the dollar costs. But in terms of the pounds, ours are going down because the pound is doing well against the PHP. I think we're 176 at the moment to the pound. So happy days. So yeah, we went to. So anyway, what I'm saying to you, I do apologise. We're not the most organised. If you subtract our living costs of £303 from our total expenditure, it leaves £1,122. Or if you subtract $403 from the $1,895, it gives you $1,492. So those last two figures, the 1122 and the 1492, are our expenses, our entertainment costs, shall we say. And our entertainment costs are always more than our living costs. Because we go out a lot, we tend to eat out more than we eat in, because we're social creatures, are we not? Well, I am anyway.
Yeah, we ate out, but we never socialize.
No, so what do you mean never socialize? Anyway, but they're high this month. One of the reasons I'm happy about, two of the reasons I'm happy about, but the third one not so. Now, as we've said many times before, we don't budget. We don't live within a certain budget. Our living costs are what they are. But if I didn't do these videos, I wouldn't really know what they were. But I have to add them up. And when I added them up to this week to do the video, well, a couple of hours ago, I looked and I thought, why are they so high? Because I estimate our trip to Mobile wasn't an expensive trip. It was because the ferry over was only 300 pesos each way, and that was 2 of us on a scooter. The fuel costs were very low. It cost less than 200 pesos to get there and back to Oslo. The hotel was only, I think, 2,200 pesos for 2 nights. But we went out. Food and drink there's a lot more expensive than it is in Dumagetti, so we spent a bit on food and drink and had a good time. That's what trips are for. But I'm thinking, well, if you add that onto our normal costs, where have the other additional costs come from? And I came to the shocking conclusion that it's the brownouts. It's the brownouts. Now, I know you're probably going to say this is not rocket science, but I hadn't really considered it. And I say it's not an issue. I'm very wary, aren't we, when we do these living cost videos. This is not a guide on what it costs you to live. You know, it's going to cost you whatever it costs you. You know, I'm sure you can live more cheaply than us. I'm sure you can live more expensively than us. But it's just out of interest if you're interested. But I was a bit surprised. And it is the brownouts that have done a big impact, because we are getting brownouts, or were. Thankfully, we've not had any since we've been back, have we?
Yeah.
Well, we had one the other night, but that wasn't an announced one. That was only for like an hour. But we were getting scheduled brownouts virtually every weekend, weren't we? I mean, there was a couple 2 weeks in a row. No, they were every fortnight. And as I said before, when we have brownouts, we book into a hotel in town, and we spend the night in Dumagetti the next day or whatever. And the costs are adding up. The costs are adding up. It is, you know, the meals out, etc. You know, you're looking at £100 on top of your normal costs each brownout, which we could solve. We could get a generator and things. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. Well, I am in a way, because I just think we're getting a bit bored, aren't we, with the brownouts and staying in hotels?
Yeah.
I mean, the last... You all right? Ants in your pants? She's got to keep smiling. If she stops smiling, I'm going to tell you what happened to her last night. And she really doesn't want me to tell you what happened to her last night. So anyway, I won't as long as you are a professional assistant. So yeah, it's what was I? Yeah, so it's like the last time we booked into a hotel in town. The first few brownouts, we would get up, we would go in a hotel, we'd drive out, we'd do stuff, etc. Last time, we stayed in a hotel, went out the night before, met some friends, had a few drinks and things, and then we had a late night, or I had a late night, and then went back, bless her, a little bit earlier. And next day I woke up, and we just couldn't be bothered. So we booked another day. When you book another day, we booked a late checkout, which was the same rate as half a day, and we spent the day in bed in the hotel. Because just have lost the enthusiasm to get on a scooter and drive up to the mountains or do whatever. So hopefully these brownouts are going to dissipate. They're going to stop. But who knows with the utility companies over here. So yeah, that is a factor. And it's something you need to consider, because I say this is why we don't like to say our living costs are a guide, because as other people have said in the past, you're not including your travelling costs, and you're not considering this, you're not considering your healthcare if you got sick. Well, we are. When we travel, we will include it. When we're sick, we will mention it. I mean, I'm probably going to have to go to the hospital next week. I'm not going to go into it yet why, but if I do, obviously I will include whatever the medical costs are. But we've included travelling costs this time, and we're including the costs of going into town, which is optional. We could get a generator, and our trip cost us, I say, about £300 to Marlborough there and back. So if you include the presents and that I got her, that's probably about £1,000. It's I didn't. I got an electric toothbrush. She's a. That's what you wanted, wasn't it? That's what you asked for. Yeah. She did. I was going to get a diamond ring. She said she wanted a toothbrush. I said, "Are you sure?" She asked, "Whatever you want." Yeah, you know, you don't have to go into town. You could live cheaper and. God bless you.
I really wanted to cough now.
What?
I really wanted to cough.
Go for it. Cough. I'm sure they'd like to see you cough. I love watching her cough. So Yeah, you wouldn't have to do that. You know, you could live here cheaper and just get a generator and not go into town. But us personally, I don't want to spend the day sitting there watching if the generator's going to overheat and just having a fan on the internet. But there is an associated cost with these brownouts. You know, Ellen loses work through them. She can't work because she works online. We end up going into town, staying in hotels. You know, when you include what we've cost going into town, that's probably about 6 months of electricity bill. You know, so these brownouts have a knock-on effect. The travelling was optional. If you wanted to go to Mobile, I'm sure you could spend 2-3 times as much as us. If you want to stay in a flash resort with a swimming pool, 5-star resort, something like that, if they have such a thing in Mobile. Equally, you could go and stay in a hostel and eat in eateries. What do you call them? I can never remember the term.
Go on.
Canderas?
Carinderia.
Carinderia.
Just say eatery.
Isn't that shocking? I've been in coming up 2 years and I still can't say. Was it?
Carinderia.
Carindria.
Say eatery. It's
well, I was saying
so
eatery, but I
easy.
was trying. Yeah, I say eatery. So you could do that. So I mean, you could travel a lot cheaper. You know, these are just our figures. But the thing that I have noticed is putting our costs up, and he's going to put our costs up next month. And this is not a complaint. I am very happy about it. We are both delighted about it.
No.
But Ellen's daughter is staying with us at the moment.
I think you are. Joke.
She's staying with us for the school holidays. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because people have said in the past, you're not including family costs, you're not including kids' costs, children. To which my reply is, well, we haven't got any living with us, so it's irrelevant. But it has made me realise that if we did have children living with us permanently, and we may have Kayla living with us permanently, you know, but at the moment, no, she's just here for a few weeks for the school holidays. It is going to put up our living costs quite considerably, which has surprised me in terms of I had a partner in Thailand and she had a daughter, and I never really noticed the cost there because it's more expensive in the Philippines if you have a child. Shall I explain why? Things like fruit and stuff like that is so cheap in Thailand, incredibly cheap, particularly if you're living in the provinces. You know, mangoes and papayas, they're just really cheap. Smoothies you can get anywhere for a fraction of the price here. But here, obviously, you go out with Ellen's daughter Kayla, and Ellen's the same. She likes to drink milkshakes. And milkshakes are like 2-3 times the price of beers over here. I mean, alcohol is incredibly cheap in the Philippines, but things like the things that kids tend to like, milkshakes, ice creams, that kind of thing, are a lot more expensive than they are in Thailand. So, you know, the cost of 2 milkshakes in a reasonable restaurant probably costs more than the main course, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm only saying this because we're very happy here. It's a holiday. We're just talking about living costs. So I'm saying if you had children living with you, it's going to cost a lot more. It's not rocket science. I'm just saying it's going to cost more, I think, than I had assumed that it would before. And Kayla, God bless her, she has a healthy appetite. So when we go out and eat, she has a full plate the same as we do. Why am I...
4 plates.
A full plate, not 4 plates.
Oh, okay.
I said a full plate, not 4 plates. But no, Kayla does have a healthy appetite. I might make a video in the coming weeks because a little while ago we went to the chicken place, the chicken wings. Yeah, and I said I'd have a competition with her, see who could eat the most. And she would have beaten me. I was done. And Ellen, like, in the end, she stopped her, and I was like, and she made me eat the last 3, and I was nearly done. She would beat me. So I think we might do a video on that. For a 9-year-old child, she has a very healthy appetite. So I'm saying this because I've got a good friend, not going to mention him, and I spoke to him a while ago because he's got 3 kids. And I was saying to him, because he was going to a restaurant that we often eat in, and I asked him, I said, how much does a meal cost for you there then? Because this particular restaurant, the reason I'm not going to mention it is I get a discount there because I'm friends with the owner. And I was just trying to work out, you know, interested to see if he got a discount because he knows me as well. He doesn't. And I never asked for a discount. He's just always knocked it off. He always knocks 10% off. God bless him. for whatever reason. And but I always make it up in a tip. But anyway, I digress. And he said, not much than just me and my wife going out. I said, well, how can it not? You got 3 kids with you. And he said, oh, they don't eat much. He said, they just like order one main and they'll share it. They've got no appetites. And his wife was with me, so yeah, they don't eat, they're not interested, it's like, they just get one main and they share it. Well, Kaylee's not like that. So obviously that is expensive. And the fact that she's with us for a holiday, obviously we are doing holiday things. So we're going to be going up to the water slides, and we've had like Jollibee delivered and pizza and things like, we're doing the things that kids like. So yeah, it's going to put our costs up, but great, fantastic. Wouldn't have it anyway, and we mean that. I'm just saying, I suppose what I'm getting at is, although our costs are increasing because Kayla is here, I suppose if she was living here permanently, we wouldn't be going to the water park and ordering things like that, would we? So it's a holiday.
Yeah.
So I suppose you've got to maybe, whatever it is going to cost us additionally, you could probably cut it in half if she was living up. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying, these are the reasons our living costs have doubled, which they basically had this month. 2 of them we're happy about, the trip and Kayla. What we're not so happy about is the brownouts. But just giving you context, because I would hate for someone to watch one of these videos and think, I can live on that, or that's all I will need, or I can live half that, or whatever, because that is not the point of the video. I am not suggesting that anyone can live on what we live on, or should live on more, should live on less, because people often ask me, how much do I need to live in the Philippines? It is like saying, how long is a piece of string? Depends where you're going to live, depends what your lifestyle is, depends who your partner's going to be. There are not many women in the Philippines who are more high maintenance than Ellen. I mean, she is a very demanding woman. And if she pinches me like she is now, or starts complaining,
I didn't demand for anything.
I will tell you what happened to her last night.
Oh, I'm trying to cooperate here. Stop it.
If you want to know what happens, join us for the live stream on Tuesday night, because my lips are sealed now, but get a couple of beers inside me, I can't shut up. And Ellen, the seat breaker.
Before you know it, I have deleted it already, so.
She hasn't deleted it, she's lying. She's lying. Don't lie to our audience, we're on this channel. She can't delete it because it's on my phone.
Before Tuesday.
Okay. Oh yeah, and another expense, which I haven't included, is Ellen. She likes falling through chairs. We were doing the live stream the other day, and she decided to break the chair. Just as I panned the camera around, she fell through it. So in another chair, and those chairs are not cheap. So it is yeah. She's a high maintenance, expensive woman to live with. But anyway, there we go. Is there anything you would like to add?
I'm not high maintenance.
You're not.
I just want sweet stuff. I don't ask you for anything else.
She just wants sweeter stuff. So you don't get much sweeter than me, my love. Yeah, she's not high maintenance. She's not, which is good, because I'm a cheap Charlie. She's low maintenance. That's why we're a good couple. It is. Is there anything you would like to say? Is there any figures you would like to add? Is there anything you would like? Would you like to tell him what happened last night?
No.
Would you like to apologise for breaking the chair?
It's not my fault.
Not her fault, no. She spent the day telling me how she had lost weight, and she told me about 3-4 times that day how she'd lost weight. And then what does she do? She sits on a chair that I've been sitting on about half an hour before, and then she breaks it. It just collapses. Do the maths.
Because it's there all the time.
Because it's
under
there.
the sun.
Okay, well, there you go. Anyway, we've gone on far too long now. I'll ask you for the last time, speak now or forever hold your peace. Is there anything you would like to add?
Nothing.
And just to clarify for the record, this was not a hostage video. You made this of your own free will, yes? I'll put words in your mouth. Did you or did you not?
Yes. It's not a hostage video.
It's not a hostage video, there you go.
Else he's gonna leak my video.
There we go. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Our costs are what they are. I've given you a number of caveats. If you did enjoy the video, it would be great if you smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be even better if you did. Ellen can be quite grumpy at times. She can be quite miserable, quite demanding. But she gets a subscription. My God, she hops around like a fair, you know, she's just like a ballet dancer, and it just makes our life so much easier. You know, it's because in the morning she'll come in and say, like, do you want a coffee, and how many subscribers have we got, any new ones? And if I say yes, the coffee comes and a croissant. If I say no subscribers, like, make your own coffee, and slams the door. So please subscribe. Are you going to finish it off?
I don't know what to say.
Whether you do, whether you don't.
Be safe, be lucky.
Wherever you are,
oh, yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
This is so professional.
You should.
We'll try it one more time. So.
Wherever you go, whatever you're doing. What?
Go on. No, okay, I expect when you
Stay safe. Be lucky.
Be lucky.